Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Uzama, where the sun hung like a ripe orange in the sky and the earth smelled of roasted plantains and hibiscus, 5 maidens prepared for the dance of a lifetime. The new prince, Adetokunbo, had returned from his studies across the 7 rivers, and the king decreed that the most graceful maiden would be his bride. The palace buzzed like a beehive. Tailors stitched gold into fabric, drummers practiced rhythms that made lizards tap their feet, and the air was thick with the scent of jollof rice and hope. The 5 maidens were as different as the colors of the marketplace. There was Neka, the chief's daughter, whose laughter could make a tortoise shed its shell. Amina, the warrior's child, spun like a tornado, her bracelets clinking like coins. Falake, the weaver's pride, moved as if her feet were threaded with invisible silk. Chioma, the fisherman's jewel, swayed like river reeds in a storm. And then there was Ibukun, the herbalist's daughter, whose dreadlocks cascaded down her back like coiled serpents, whispering secrets only the wind understood. On the day of the dance, the village square transformed into a sea of rainbow fabrics and gleaming teeth. The prince sat on a throne of elephant tusks, his eyes sharp as a falcon's. The maidens danced, their hips painting stories in the air. Neka's steps were bold, Amina's fierce, Falake's delicate, Chioma's fluid. But when Ibukun stepped forward, the drums faltered. Her feet barely touched the ground, her dreadlocks swirling like smoke. She danced not to the drums, but to something older, something beneath the soil. The crowd gasped when fireflies burst from her hair, lighting up the dusk like scattered stars. The prince stood, his voice a thunderclap. "Ibukun will be my bride." The crowd erupted. Some cheered, others whispered. How could a herbalist's daughter, a girl who collected roots and spoke to spiders, outshine chiefs and warriors' blood? Neka's smile stiffened, Amina's fists clenched, but Ibukun only bowed, her eyes hiding storms. That night, as feasting shook the palace, Ibukun slipped away to her mother's hut at the edge of the forest. The old herbalist, Mama Ifeoma, stirred a pot that bubbled with no fire beneath it. "You called the spirits to dance for you," Mama Ifeoma said, her voice like cracking twigs. "Now the prince will see more than he bargained for." Ibukun trembled. "I only wanted him to choose me." Her mother's eyes gleamed. "Child, Adetokunbo is not just a prince. His shadow has 2 heads." Meanwhile, the prince wandered the palace gardens, his mind tangled. He'd felt a pull toward Ibukun he couldn't explain, a hum in his bones when she danced. As he passed a mirrored pool, his reflection grinned back, then winked. He stumbled. "Who are you?" The reflection laughed. "The one who's been here longer than you." The next morning, the kingdom awoke to a curse. The royal drums had turned to stone, the king's crown sprouted thorns, and Neka's laughter now sounded like a crying hyena. The elders gathered, their beards trembling. "This is the work of the dreadlocked girl," Amina accused. But the prince, his eyes now flecked with gold, silenced them. "No, this is my family's doing." He confessed the truth. His ancestors had bargained with the forest spirits for power, and the debt was due. The spirits demanded a royal bride who could bridge both worlds. Ibukun, with her herbalist blood and dancing fireflies, was the key. But Mama Ifeoma revealed the twist. The prince's body hosts 2 souls, his own and the spirit king's. Only Ibukun's love can separate them, or the kingdom will fade into shadow. The maidens, now united by fear, devised a plan. Falake wove a net from moonbeams, Chioma sang a lullaby from the deepest rivers, and Amina forged a spear from sunlight. Nika, her laughter restored, distracted the palace guards with riddles. Together, they lured the prince to the sacred baobab tree, where Ibukun waited with a potion brewed from her mother's tears and her own dreadlocks. The prince fought himself, his voice splitting into 2, one pleading, one roaring. Ibukun kissed his forehead, and the potion spilled over him like liquid night. The spirit king howled, his form unraveling into smoke, but not before snarling, "You'll never be free. The bloodline is bound." As the smoke cleared, Adetokunbo collapsed, his shadow whole again. The kingdom rejoiced, but Ibukun knew the truth. The spirit's hunger was only postponed. As the new royal couple stood under the baobab, now blooming out of season, she whispered to the prince, "Our children will dance this dance too." He squeezed her hand.